There we go. Overreaction Monday. Y'all already know what time it is. Big 12 Media Days tomorrow. It's beginning to look a lot like college football Christmas. Let's get it. Mountain West Media Days coming up as well. What else we going to talk about? Big Ten projections? We didn't do them. Athlon Sports did them, so we definitely going to have to talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about energy drinks. Nino, I'm interested to see what your favorite energy drinks is. Also, Nino has this thing, and we're going to talk about that. It's like this little no layup thing, so I'm going to give him an opportunity to put some of his guys on the table, guys that y'all probably have no clue is, but he gonna put them on the table. Y'all gonna find out about it. So y'all don't know about him now, but in October, November, everybody else is talking about him. Nino already been talking about him. Only on Overreaction Monday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today I am the governor of college football. Yes, sir. The mayor of college football, aka Downtown Nino Brown. Yes, sir. Welcome to another marvelous episode of Overreaction Monday. I am the governor of college football, and with me is a guy that needs no introduction, the mayor of college football, Downtown Nino Brown. Enough with the talking, enough with the introductions. Let's get right into some rapid fire one-liners. What offensive and defensive playbook would you use on day one of college football 25? Let's get some people hit.
I don't lay up. So give me I'm gonna take Texas State and DJ Kine's high up tempo air raid offense. And in honor of our guy Dino, give me that 3-4 snot bubble old school Iowa defense. Let's rock.
I'm with you 100%. I like it. Phil Parker's defense for sure. Going with Iowa's defense. Offensively, I'm gonna go with Mike Denbrock. I like what he did with LSU the last couple of years. I don't know if it's going to be tweaked for Notre Dame to kind of fit their style. If not him, then I'm going to go with Joey Hassel and Tennessee's playbook for my offensive playbook. But y'all heard that. He didn't give you a layup. He gave you a real deal, Vander Holyfield. Let's get into this next rapid fire one-liner. Sleeper G5 team that can make the playoff, but nobody's talking about.
It's either going to be James Madison at App State because one of those is going to be undefeated. Book it.
People in Boone happy about that one, sir. What team are you most intrigued by for Big 12 Media Day?
I got two. Utah, the newcomer, yet the favorite at the same time.
That's interesting.
Ollie Gordon is at Media Day right now amidst this whole whatever you want to call
it. That's interesting. For me, it's Iowa State. Matt Campbell starting to, in the business that both Nino and I work in, we talk about eliminating excuses. A lot of excuses are being eliminated for you, Matt Campbell. It's gonna be time to put up for you this year. So I'm really interested in Iowa State this upcoming season. What team are you most intrigued by for Mountain West Media Days, Nino?
I got two. Can UNLV, can Barry Odom repeat success, back-to-back success up on the map? And is the fire lit on the head coach Sean Lewis's ass of San Diego State? He went out the wrong way at Colorado.
Oh, he was mistreated. He was mistreated in the motor. 100%.
He's back in his unit, and they don't know who the QB1 is, but don't let my guy Daniel O'Neal fill that role.
He just keep giving y'all gems. Y'all better pay attention. Also, Nino, what is your preferred energy drink?
Havoc, Juice Lab, bang, bang. Hold up. Reverse. You're on the map. Return fire. Rapid fire return. Let's get it. You ready?
Let's get it.
Who has a better final record, Alabama or Missouri?
Missouri. Eli Drinkwitz. Missouri. Let's get it.
All right. 2025 five-star offensive tackle David Saunders Jr. will commit to Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, or Nebraska.
Nebraska. Matt Rule.
I love it. Yeah. USC head coach Lincoln Riley will be fired at the end of the 2024 season. Yes or no?
No.
Woo. James Franklin, Shane Beamer. Whose ass is harder?
James Franklin.
Let's go. Let's keep cooking. We're ready. It's all done. We're back. I had to put you in the heater.
I like the reverse, man. I like the reverse. That was like Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin, man. We thought Mike Tyson was on the Generation X side, and he flipped on him, bro.
Boom.
That was beautiful. This broadcast and every broadcast is powered by Havoc Energy. Havoc Energy drink is the best gaming energy drink. EA Sports College Football 25 will be out in 8 days, ladies and gentlemen. Use the code TheCFBNation24 for a 10% discount towards your Havoc Energy purchase. We just had to say that, man. We got to pay some bills. Nino, I'm about to ask you a long-winded question, and I love when I ask you long-winded questions. You know, it's magazine season, and during this time of the year, we start to see everybody making noise, and members of the media are beginning to make their predictions on the upcoming season. And typically this time of year, we're hearing a lot of noise from Norman, but things for Brent Venables and company have been relatively quiet, unless you're our guy, Boomer Sooner. He knows all. But they are getting the buzz that Texas is getting, even with some believing they will struggle in year one in the SEC. Nino, what are realistic expectations for the Oklahoma Sooners year one in SEC?
7-4, 8-3 at best. And to quote my man Mace, breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. All in Norman, I'll give you those dubs. But when number 16 Tennessee comes into town, come on, man. At Auburn, we know how that's going to go. First Texas, first South Carolina, at Ole Miss. That 4-game stretch, come on, man. Maine layup, at Miz, off, Alabama, at LSU. I ain't making it up. I mean, the facts are on the table. They're going to struggle. Some of these games, they're going to lose. Ole Miss probably going to be a loss, right? Tennessee, Texas, they win some. They might win 1 or 2 that they're not supposed to win, or that they were
right.
Favorite. But as a newcomer in this conference with this schedule, I'm sorry. They're going to catch some L's, and they're not going to be what everybody expects them to be. Everybody thinks that Oklahoma's going to come in and just kick the door in. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. But that section of the country is
for sure.
That, and I'm not saying that they're going to be terrible. But 8-3, the first year in, 7-4, that ain't bad. Listen, Jackson Arnold will be fine. Some fine-tuning and it's adjusted on the fly. He wasn't the Gatorade Player of the Year for nothing, okay? But who the heck is protecting Jackson Arnold? Because Walter Rouse is in the NFL. Tyler Guyton is in the NFL. Is Michael Tarkin going to be the next elite offensive tackle for the Sooners? Or are they going to be rotating through 3 different guys? Brown, Tarquin, Jake Taylor. You need steady play up front. Jackson Arnold needs to be secure and know that he's protected at that tackle position. Now, everybody and their brother is on the Stutzman train. And rightfully so. Cool. But go give me the freak, the beast of a man in that cheetah position at the Saul McCullough. If that boy is 100% healthy, watch out, okay? This kid is a 4-star recruit who was starting to get into his own before injuries got to him. But at the end of the season, he was attacking the ball. He had 17 run stops in the last couple of games. This dude is going to be the focal. I know Stutzman's going to be the guy, but you always need a guy outside of him. McCollum's going to be that dude, okay? He's got to have – I need to see this guy step up. This is all if they're going to have this 8-win miracle 9-win season. These guys got to step up to the plate. It can't be one-hit wonders at each position. Okay, talking about one-hit wonders. Sawchuk's the guy. I've been on the Sawchuk train before he was even stepped foot
in Norman. Yep.
Right, but he's going to need help, and we've all heard and seen glimpses of Javonte Barnes and what he could be, right? But is he healthy? It's kind of getting redundant with the word healthy, but I'm going to wrap it all up with that at the end. But if he is healthy, Barnes, Sawchuk, and Jackson Arnold's legs, now that is a backfield that could be some serious problems for these teams. But you also got questions in the wide receiver department. Nick Anderson was a touchdown machine. Cool. 10 touchdowns. He tied Stoops last year for the most on the team. But can he do that again? Can this guy who came out of nowhere be a double-digit touchdown machine? They're going to need somebody to be, right? Jalen Farouk was the second best Sooner wide receiver outside of touchdowns, hands down. I think he's the one. People are saying Burks is the one. He can be that, D-A-T, that dude. He gets 7 touchdowns and 600 yards for Purdue on a team that was struggling for talent. I get it. But he needs to slow down with the driving and make sure he's not getting arrested or else Petaway is going to slide right into that role and steal the spot. Now, on the defensive side, the secondary, you got the Bowen brothers, Billy and Peyton. I mean, these guys are just absolute ball hawks. You talk about 10 pass breakups, apparently both of them. I think it was 6 or 7 interceptions. So they're solid in the second half. You know what I mean? And they got Shenty Williams. And if he's healthy, they got a lockdown DB. Now, wrap it all up again. Like I said, it was redundant with health, but health is a major concern for this Sooners team going into year one in this conference. And another thing that's a major concern is the chemistry and adjustment on the fly for a young kid in Jackson Arnold. Yes, he was that dude. But we saw in that first game, and I'm not saying because Nico was my guy and Jackson Arnold was boomers. Nico's first game, he looked real good. Didn't need to get polished. He looked like he was ready to go. Jackson, a couple throws he wish he had back. So there was some things that he needs to tweak and fine-tune. But if he can get that going, I think 8, maybe 9. But I'm going to go with the 7-8 mark for me.
So 7-5 or 8-4 will be the Oklahoma Sooners record this year. Also consider that, hey, his offensive coordinator from last year is now in Starkville with a team that we believe, Levy. So that's really interesting. What's going on there?
He's cooking though. He's cooking. He's getting guys. He's getting these big recruits, guys that they're not supposed to be, that they weren't in on or were cold per the crystal ball. So I mean, listen, Venables has been a guy, and Venables has been that defensive guy, right?
He has. Yeah.
So a lot of the questions I said on this little rapidoo here was offense, which is not his department, which is also missing someone in that department. Levy would be able to take Jackson Arnold under his wing and groom this young man like he's done with other guys before. He just looks like he's that big teddy bear, like that Andy Reid type guy, right? That just knows how to. I understand, young fella. I get it. You know what I mean?
You see how good Blake Shapen look? Yeah, we didn't see this in Baylor.
They were ready. No, they were ready. They said sick him to Shapen right out the door, right? Anybody else can have him. And now this kid looks like he could be the next Will Rogers over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so there's going to be some growing pains there, and it's all going to fall back on Venables, obviously, because he's the dude. He's safe. I mean, they could mess around and get 9, but Venables is safe no matter what for at least a couple seasons.
So how do you think the faithful will feel about that? 7-5, 8-4, year one in the SEC. Those are probably realistic expectations, but the faithful are like, yo, we want to win and we want to win now. That's the way things work in Norman. So how do you think they'll feel about that?
Well, you're adding two big hitters to the conference, right? So I think that everybody's kappa is going to change a little bit. So there could be other teams with an extra loss or 2. And if the guy who wins the conference has 2 losses or 1 loss and you have 3, year one, you might be in the 5th spot, but that's not bad overall.
That's not bad at all. I don't think anybody's going to run the table in that conference.
No, and the other thing that's going to matter is that record in parentheses. That conference record. You got 1 L in the conference, or 2 L's in the You did.
You talking about a shot at an automatic bid?
Yeah, you went in there like Ryan Garcia and started throwing haymakers, but if you lose 5 games, now we're talking about we got to check that glove like Ryan Garcia because something's not right.
I like that, man. Great job with that. I'm glad you put the work in per usual. So speaking of magazine season, Athlon Sports has released their Big Ten conference projections, and they're as follows. And this is something we've done before. We've done it with over-unders, but I love to see what our peers, how they're feeling about some of these schools. So shout out to everybody in the chat per usual. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Shout out to 14K. We just passed 14K. And you let Nino tell it, man. We're going to be hitting 20K real soon. So Ohio State, Athlon Sports has them projected as 1. Oregon number 2, Michigan number 3, Penn State number 4, USC number 5. I'm sure Nino will have something to say about that. Iowa at number 6, Nebraska at 7, Wisconsin at 8, Rutgers at 9, Washington at 10, Maryland at 11, Minnesota at 12, Michigan State at 13, UCLA at 14, Illinois at 15, Northwestern at 16, Indiana at 17, Purdue at 18. Some really interesting things here from Athlon Sports. Nino, take it away.
All right, so I'm going to start off at the bottom, work my way up because it's going to be it gets long at the top.
Yeah, it does.
I don't understand. Have we not seen what Kurt Signaghi can do? Like, no love. Like, James Madison.
The disrespect is real, but they don't know. They don't know.
hello, McFly. Like, and it's not just him. And yes, he took pieces with him from James Madison, which every coach does. But they brought in Curtis Rourke, they brought in Elijah Surratt, they brought in Justin Ellison. Now, if you don't know who these teams are, then you're casual. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. But these players, Curtis Rourke is a stud, right? 36-9 touchdown interception ratio. And it probably would be so much better had he not got injured.
He got injured. I also interviewed Curtis Rourke last year. His brother is a CFL legend.
Absolutely. Nathan Rourke is a dog, played for Jacksonville as well. Right? Elijah Surratt, look at a guy coming off an 82 catch, 1,100 yard season, and 8 touchdowns.
Seeing him play twice last year, he's an absolute dog.
Right? Justin Ellison is at Wake Forest. This is a dude who averages close to 5 yards per carry and over 500 yards in each of the last 3 seasons for Wake Forest. Okay, we lost some guys. I think they might have plugged and played better guys. Now, I'm Brennan Sorsby guy, okay? But you're getting a seasoned, mobile QB and Curtis Rourke. Now, if he's healthy, I think Indiana can mess around and win 4 or 5. If you win 4 or 5 games, there's no way in God green earth you're 17 in the big. Not a chance in hell. So that's another one of, we didn't do our homework. Sorry, Indiana, they're a basketball school, not a football school. Sorry. Okay.
And looking at their schedule, they definitely have winnable games. I forgot what their over or under was, but it was very low by the odds makers. It's something that I'll be betting it over with Indiana this year for sure.
I wasn't going to go the route, but I'll do it because you brought it up. FIU, Western Illinois, UCLA, Charlotte. They could go 3-1 to start off the season.
Yeah.
If they go 3-1 to start off the season, yes,
everybody be talking about them.
All of a sudden, it'll be Kirkston Netties is proof doesn't matter what conference he did it at James Madison year 1 and they went. All of a sudden, wake up. Take a cup of coffee, smell the roses. Let's go. It's not all about SEC. There are other guys and coaches out there that are just as goddamn good as the other guys. All right. Maryland at 11. Maryland could mess around, okay? And be 5-1 going into. Hold on. Let me see here. I got UConn, right? That's a dub. They got Michigan State. We don't know what Michigan State's going to be.
We're not sure what's going on in East Lansing just yet. We know they got some potential. But
they brought Oregon State 2.0.
Right.
Okay, so we know that. But then Virginia, Villanova at Indiana, which I'm big on them, but this is going to be a make or break game. Then they're off, and then Northwestern. It's leading up to when I'm going to talk about USC. Maryland could be 6-0. To go face USC. If they're 6-0 or 5-1, how are they going to fall and be 11th ranked in the Big Ten? There's no way because they have games that they're winnable. Rutgers is in there, Minnesota's in there, right? We don't know what Penn State's going to be. Drew Allen could throw up on his shoes, or it could be the next coming of we just don't know. So it's like. Another one. That one really got me. Like, man, you don't know who was going to be the quarterback. Just like we don't know who's going to be the quarterback. So just because you don't know doesn't mean you just throw them into the middle of the pack. Do a little more research.
Right. And Coach Loxley has continuously put good teams together. He's got great assistants on his staff as well. People with a lot of experience inside of the sport. A team that I've been around. I see how he operates. I see how his players respect him. I think that's a great pick, Nino.
Now, Nebraska is kind of like, I'm just not sure. Coming in with a young kid at the quarterback position.
I think so many people want them to be the feel-good story of 2024 in college football.
If you lay out the cards on the table, right? Year 2 in Matt Rule's system is usually a big 180, right?
Yeah,
big 180 of what he's done.
Yes.
Usually year 1 is shit. Year 2 he usually finds his quarterback. All of a sudden, true freshman Dylan Raiola is supposed to be the guy, right? So it's like, okay, the pieces are starting to fall in. So if I believe in the story, it seems as though they should be where they are. So that didn't really bother me. I was actually kind of cool with that. It seems like you said, everybody wants Nebraska to be.
Right.
USC, you can go shit in a fucking hat, okay? I just don't understand it. You got LSU and Michigan, 2 out of the first 3 games. Double L's, okay? The USC defense, hold on, I said this, was a shop vac last year. They sucked
It was.
and they blew last year. That's how bad they were. They were 121st in first downs allowed on defense. They were 121st in plays over 20-plus yards. They were 123rd in total yards allowed. And they went and did the biggest cowardly thing. Oh, if we can't beat them, let's join them. We'll go steal UCLA's defensive coordinator.
They did.
And right? D'Anton Lynn. Right? Okay,
Lynn,
cool. And he's good, right? He's good at one thing. And again, just significant to USC. We steal from freaking Peter to go for freaking Paul. Right? So, right. We're great at UCLA's defense coordinator is great at the rush, right? They were top 10 last season. They allowed less than 20 points per game, right? But they sucked outside of the top 35 against the pass. Once again, we steal from Peter to go pay Paul. You didn't solve any of the gosh darn problems. Oh, we may be able to stop the run, but they're going to pass all over us because what was our weakness is now our strength. What was our strength is now our weakness. You added pieces. Great. Easton Mascarenas from Oregon State. You added Akiliana from Oregon State. Now, the guy that I think is going to be a key player is Kamari Ramsey because he came from UCLA. So he's at the safety position, which is going to help, right?
So he'll be able to communicate
exactly a little bit more.
Yeah.
But we've seen them add. Mason Cobb came over. He was a 100-plus tackle guy when he was at Oklahoma State, came to UCLA, threw up on his shoes. This is what they do. They're good at offense. They're not good at defense because you could put all the big names and all the talent in the room, but if the guy running the ship ain't giving you the keys to the car, you're just a passenger in the back, being a backseat driver. And I don't think Lincoln Riley is going to let Mr. Ray Lynn II do whatever he wants, although he should, right? But now we get into the schedule, and this is where it gets ugly. October 12th at Penn State. Now, if Drew Aller is something, okay,
right,
and he figures it out, and that run game is clicking, the Nittany Lions could run the Trojans out of their own building. You know what I'm saying? This is a defense built, like Penn State's defense is built for this. That's snot-nosed football, and they grind it down. USC is not one of those. They're that high-flying way, and just put points on the board, just kind of be the last guy to score, pretty much, right? You just stole their DC, and they went out and pulled a Deion Sanders type move. You best freaking believe on November 23rd, that Rose Bowl going to mean a little bit more. It's going to hit a little different for these Bruins because Foster's cooking, and everything he's doing, he's bringing in pieces. He's bringing in Nico's brother. He got Madden coming in the next year. So, like, he's got guys that came in the portal. He's got guys that are coming in and committing, transferring over. They see something, right? If they believe and he believes, and they put that together, I'm not thinking that everybody at USC believes in Lincoln Riley, okay? And those games are always close. They're always battles at the Rose Bowl. And then the very next week, you play Notre Dame. Now, I'm not the biggest Notre Dame fan, but it's a big game. It's on national television. And half these guys are redshirt freshmen or guys that redshirted and have no experience. It's the big game going to be too big for them, right? And this is the one that everybody's forgetting about because it's not the biggest name team. It's not the big thing for them. Wisconsin will be well-rested. And then USC, after a battle with a well-rested Wisconsin, has to travel to Minnesota, another team that could run their little red and yellow asses out of the building, okay? I don't think that this team is built for this schedule. I don't think that they're built for this conference. That type of scheme that Lincoln Riley runs, and that, yes, he went and got a guy knowing that he was going to this conference that runs heavy, but what I said, he's subtracting from the backside.
Right.
And what happens when it comes with a run-heavy offense? That play action. If you can't stop that because all your guys 7-8 in the box because you're committing to the run game, you're still going to look just as dumb when the score on the scoreboard at the end of the game, right? Hence why I said to you, is Lincoln Riley going to last this whole season? Because I think if they're a 5, 6, or 7-win team, the powers that be that pay the bills are going to be pissed. Those kids that committed to Lincoln Riley, who he's telling us Miller Moss is going to be the next coming of Jesus. Right?
Oh, Lord, yeah.
They're going to be like, all right, maybe I need to get out the door. There start being some decommitments. They start losing, they start getting to that 6, 7 win total mark. It's going to be a lot of questions that someone's going to have to answer. And Lincoln Riley's never answered those questions. He just skates in the middle of the night when everybody else is sleeping.
He's never been good, but he's always been good at that because he's been trying to get out of this LSU game for how many years now? Like he wants no problems with any of these teams in the SEC.
If you're that guy, right? Oh, just like Ric Flair, to beat a man, you gotta beat the man, my friend. Step up, come out with a sequence robe, and beat the man. No, you skate. You're like Bobby Heenan. You slide out from under the ring with a robe and a chair, and you want to hit somebody, and then go back home. Come on, bro. You're a joke.
Purdue. Is Purdue deserving of the worst team in the conference? I mean, somebody's got to be the worst team in the conference, right?
They've been probably the bottom feeders of the conference for a while. I think they're going to be somewhere in that 3 to 4 win total. They may be in games. I just don't know if the longevity of how long they'll be in games. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's going to be rough. I think they're going to be at the bottom of that. They've been at the bottom for the last 2 or 3 years, I believe.
And one last thing I'm gonna ask you about is Iowa. Iowa's at 6. How you feel about that? We know what they're going to do defensively. Kind of also know what they're going to do or not do offensively. Yeah. How you feeling about them at 6?
So for them, their defense always keeps them in games because they let up less than 2 total touchdowns every game.
You don't think they can push Penn State at 4? I think they can.
I think right, but now you're cutting hairs. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like so, it's like if you take out the debacle at 5, right?
Right. Yeah.
And you move them 4 and 5. I mean, you could split hairs on which one's going to finish where. If Penn State's offense gets hot, that defense is always there. They're always going to be. They're just like
the defense will be there. Yeah.
I think Penn State has a better chance of putting up points on the board compared to the Hawkeyes, right? I think the Hawkeyes average 18 a game. I think Penn State can average 26 a game.
Yeah, I think that's 100% accurate. About both teams, lunch pail teams, and the great point that you made with USC, they're not a lunch pail team at all. So it'll be interesting. So, this is honestly probably the segment I'm most happiest about. We know behind the scenes, a lot of the conversations you and I have behind the scenes and everybody else has behind the scenes that you're a rabbit hole guy. You do an awful lot of research. So I wanted to come up with a segment that's really one for you. So Nino is the king of no layups, often finds himself in rabbit holes doing research. So I wanted to take some time in this episode so we can discuss Nino's guys. And these aren't the guys that everybody else is talking about at the moment, but players that the average fan might not know. But Nino's probably going to be anticipating production from these guys, and you're going to want to know them. So you're not having to do a bunch of research in October or November. Nino's already done the research for you. So take it away, brother.
I didn't want to go all G5 because that's when I started really deep diving. So I went 2 G5 and 2 P4. So I'll start out with a P4. I'm going to go with a guy that I think is just prime for a breakout. I mean, kind of broke out a little bit last year, but people are going to say it was FIU. I'm going to go with Chris Mitchell, wide receiver. All right.
Yeah, he was a dog last year.
64 receptions for 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, right? But I think that could be repeated or, if not, improved upon on a much bigger stage. With
probably the friendliest wide receiver offense there is in the country. Well, come on now.
And I feel he's going to fit the role to be Riley Leonard's guy. Jordan Moore was Riley Leonard's guy at Duke. 187 targets over 2 seasons, 13 touchdowns, deep threat, yak capability. It's eerily similar with their numbers when it comes to ADOT, when it comes to yak. I have a funny feeling Chris Mitchell is going to just plug and play into this Jordan Moore guy. Jordan Moore got 100 targets last year. Okay, and not all of them from Riley Leonard because he did miss a lot of games, but a lot of early on when he did play, he was boom, 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 Jordan Moore. So I have a funny feeling he's going to be that deep threat guy. Now they're going to run the ball, and Riley Leonard brings that dual threat capability. He said it 100 times. He is fully healthy, so I don't think that it's going to be scaled back at all. They're going to bring that run game. Again, I just reiterate that play action game. This kid, Chris Mitchell, is going to be the benefactor of the play action, and defense is getting tired of getting beaten in the box and stepping up, and this kid's going to just blow. I could see him. He got 64 receptions. I think if he gets 80, you're looking at like 1,300 yards and double-digit touchdowns, and people are going to be now.
And that's what Spotty played at quarterback last year at FIU.
Thank you.
So imagine with somebody in this system with that quarterback. Yes, I love it. That's a great pick. Some of my favorite overreaction episodes were the previews that we did midweek for the G5 games last year, and people were still tuning in to watch it because they wanted to know about these players. Like it. Great pick.
All right, we're gonna go down that G5 row. I'm gonna go with Buffalo wide receiver
Okay.
Nick McMillan. He had a strong spring and a huge spring game that even his coach Pete Lambeau was like kind of comparing other guys that were like inexperienced and what they needed to do. He's like, you just got to keep stacking good practices and games. And he said Nick McMillan has not slowed down at all. All right, he had 20 targets last year, 13 receptions, 180 yards.
It's rare you say a name I don't know. I do not know this gentleman.
Now, listen,
you went in the rabbit hole.
He was a redshirt freshman, okay, but he was it was pretty much a deep congested wide receiver. We had Marlon Johnson, Booby Curry, Darryl Harding Jr. They're all gone. That's 90 plus targets, 1,100 yards, and 10 plus touchdowns vacated to the guy who just took spring and shit on it. So I got a funny feeling that this dude is about to blow up. Look, he's dominant in the short and intermediate game. He has a good burst off the line, strong hands. He's shifty, good size and length. And whether it's going to be Ogbonna or Jack Shields, whoever it's going to be at QB, I think it's going to be CJ Ogbonna. This kid is going to be the benefactor of them short and intermediate quick routes, them screens. Watch out for Nick McMillan. If you're a fantasy guy, this is the sleeper guy you want late in your draft. It's going to take off.
I like it.
Another guy, I'll bring it back to group of, not group of 5. I'll go P4 right here. Landon King, okay? And I say this because everybody's on the Brandon Kuthi train. But we forget that for years, I'm going back 3-4 years now, they've supported a dual tight end cast to the point where I truly believe that Landon King, a former 3-star athlete, 6'5", 215 pounds, wide receiver, turned tight end that was used as an H-back in high school. So all those play a really integral part in this Utah offense because they love pieces, putting pieces everywhere, right? And Kuthi's been injured. Now, I know we missed all year, and they're saying he's healthy now, but back injuries are always something, especially in that position, you got to look out for. But I have a feeling that Landon King has a breakout season outside of Kuthi having his own. Kincaid in his first year. Now, this following season, he went to the NFL off that. But
he went crazy.
His first year, he had 500 plus yards and 8 touchdowns. Landon King could replicate that this year, and nobody would even expect it because Cam Rising, when healthy, loves the dual tight ends. Now, they have Dorian Singer there. Oh, he's going to take targets away. Yes, he can. But what's he going to do? He's going to spread the field for the tight ends in the short and intermediate game.
Yeah. Cam Rising does not discriminate.
He's a red zone threat.
Yep.
Big guy, 6'5". Landon King is a guy that I think can have a Dalton Kincaid breakout type year.
That's a great poll. I like that.
The last one I got, we're talking James Madison. P2P's back. We just did some James Madison breakdown. I'm going to go with Ayo Adeo. Okay? This kid transferred from North Texas, right? Now was in a crowded room with 3 backs. And still
I seen them in person last year. It's crazy how many teams I seen last
year. 7 yards per carry. 5'7", 197. A little bit undersized in the height, but the weight is right there. The dude can run in between the tackles or outside. Doesn't matter. I'm talking about a natural chain mover. He accounted himself for 50 first downs for North Texas in the Mean Green last season. 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. You just inserted him into the Bob Chesney heavy run scheme. Holy Cross was an absolute wagon running the ball last year. This kid,
you saw them in person last year.
I saw quarterback. I saw everybody run on Boston College against with Holy Cross. 600 yards after contact. He's explosive. I think he had something like 30 plus runs of 10 yards or more.
That's crazy.
You know when they say you fall in shit and end up coming smelling like a rose? Ayo Deo is felling shit. He's gonna end up coming out smelling like a rose. He agreed to a team. Everything got ripped from him. They came in with he is going to blow up. Easily 1,310 touchdowns. Easily. Those are my guys. I think every one of these guys are in a prime spot to blow up. Some of them are G5. Some of them are P4.
Y'all saw what Nino just did right there. That's crazy work, man. Shout out to my guy Nino, man. That is crazy work. Nino, tell them where they can find you at, man. You do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You're doing a little bit of everytheverything.
Yeah, you can find me at Nation. That's home. That's home base. That's what That's number one, always and forever. But I do a little bit of video work and some graphics work for the league winners, and you know, I got some things in the works. But right now, that's that. Those are my 2 lanes. I also got the Debbie Degens. We're bringing that back. Shout out my guy Nerd Boy Mike, and this thing's popping. You know, maybe something to work. My guy Oliver. I don't know yet, but there's things in the works. That's all I'm saying.
I see what you did there. If you guys don't know, we are going to be giving you all live coverage from ACC Media Days. Make sure you're checking that out. I think Nino's coming down for one day. We're definitely going to get you that interview with Billy O.B. We definitely going to make that happen for sure. So we'll be giving you guys a lot of live coverage from there and a lot of behind the scenes coverage. You guys see what we do here, but a lot of times y'all don't see what we do behind the scenes, man. Really great group of guys. As I always like to say, there are no more victories in a sport that's survived in advance. That's why college football has the greatest regular season. And until next time, y'all already know what it is. Hey, we run it. We run this. Yes, sir. Today I am the governor of college football. Yes, sir. The mayor of college football, a.k.a. Downtown Nino.